Morning. I've come outside today because it's even though it's September, it's a lovely day. Right, today I want to talk about pianos. Now, I don't own a piano. I own some synths, but when I say a piano, what I mean is a real acoustic piano. In the UK, pianos are pretty popular. So I grew up in a house that had an upright piano, and I think that's quite common. I wouldn't say it's a particularly good quality piano. And so, I mean, in the UK, you can get pianos for actually no money. So I've just got Gumtree in front of me here. See, there's an upright piano here that's for sale for £500. There's a piano here, another upright, it's £200. There's one here for 50 quid. Scroll down. Oh, there's an organ there for £10. So here, just down, well, about 30 miles, 30 miles down the road, there's a piano free. Right, so obviously that's somebody that's had an upright piano and they want to get rid of it. So it's, hire a van, go and get a free piano. And that's not uncommon. I've seen that plenty. There's another one here, £300. There's one here for £3,000. This one's 40 quid. Oh, it looks like there's a grand piano there, £4,000. Lovely. Anywho, so you can actually pick up a piano for no money. But I'm kind of thinking, well, I don't really want or need a piano, because you can have a sampler, which you can have a fairly nice piano sound, and then you've got a piano, or you get an electric piano, right? Which like good electric pianos have pretty good piano sounds. But then when I watch people like Simon the Magpie and Heinbach, who have like old acoustic pianos in their studios, houses, whatever, they always sound brilliant. They just always sound like real, authentic, quirky, with all, I don't know, if they've been rescued from scrap heaps or whatever. But that, I think, that's part of the charm of the sound. So, wouldn't mind a bit of that sound for my own work. So what I'm thinking is, I'm not proposing that I go and get an old piano from somewhere, but I know in town there's like flea markets and charity shops that will have pianos. So maybe I could go in and do a bit of guerrilla sampling of charity shop pianos and put together a sample based on those. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, there'll be customers and people talking, and there might be music playing in the shop, which is possibly true. It's almost certainly true. But then you might get some happy accidents of recording, piano notes in that setting, which might make for an interesting sound. It could be worth a shot. It could be just worth a shot. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking is today's little project. I might get seduced by a park, because, as I say, it's lovely weather today. Anyway, potentially this is part one of a longer set of videos. So cheers. Shop number one, piano's being sold. That was rubbish. They had one piano, and it was locked. So there was a key at the desk, but it's a bus. I didn't want to waste the time and the people, because clearly I'm not going to buy it. So running out of shops. Number 3, number 4, rubbish, nothing. Okay, that part of town was a dead loss. I think I did 5-6 shops, charity shops and flea markets. No pianos. So the last shop I went in, it was a car coming. The last shop I went in, there was a zither, but they were playing Fleetwood Mac a bit too loudly, so that's a dead loss. Next place is a bar that used to have 3 pianos in the same room. See what the lie of the land is there. Okay, one last flea market to test, and then it's plan B. That last bar I just went in with, they did at least 2 pianos in their piano room, but there were people there like drinking coffee and tea and beer and stuff, so I thought let's not disturb them as I sit there playing C over 7 octaves. Okay, anyway, next one. Well, I found a piano. It's relatively quiet in here. I'm in the shopping mall, of all places. But I have a room to myself with a piano. Results. Alrighty, good evening. So we're back in the studio now, as you can see, obviously. It's time to, so I've sort of chopped up the piano samples and sort of mixed those down to their own little samples, then loaded those up into a sampler, into Resamplomatic, so we can hear what that sounds like. Now, from the get-go, I think the thing to say is the objective, the homework, to have like an interesting sample piano. Yeah, not so successful. However, I think what I've got is potentially something more interesting, maybe better even. This is C1. Let's do C2. That sounds like a piano. That's not bad. But then the more you stretch it with the octaves, the sort of more alien it starts to sound. C3. Ho, ho, ho. How good does that sound? That's slightly piano-esque. That's like a banjo. C4 sounds like a double bass. Sounds kind of like a Eastern instrument. C6. How good does that sound? So because that's right, so that's a very high note, pitched down a lot, and some of that artifact, that oddness you're hearing, is coming from the noise gate that I've applied to all the samples. But it's fine, the noise gate artifact thing, because it's sort of interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. But what you can then start imagining. So if we put that note, you know, if we put some microfuse reverb on that. Yeah, that starts to sound interesting. So as I say, do the homework has kind of not been that successful, but as I say, I've potentially got something better in a way.
Obviously I've still got the original WAV files from the piano in the mole, so I can continue to sort of, you know, pull out interesting sounds from those, but like the WAVs, reverse them, maybe process them without the noise gate and have more of the kind of ambient sound, which might sound interesting when you change the octave, right? Yeah, so I'll, in true Heinbach fashion, I will put together a little
a little 1 minute track or something, featuring maybe only those piano notes sampled. Maybe put some micro beats or some industrial beats or something, and do a little track at the end of this video. All right, let's get on with it. Cheerio.